You know, it'd be really funny is if I forgot to start recording after all that. That'd be really that would be hilarious. It'd be so funny. Okay, when we last left our protagonists, uh, the individuals about whom this story is ostensibly focused, uh, they were scattered to the four winds. Let me see if I can work my way down through this. Ghana
Is in hell.
is in a imperial prisoner camp, although contrary to her unspoken yet quite severe convictions regarding such a thing, she's not a prisoner. She's one of the guards.
Guards.
How unfortunate. One moment. Just figured out why my phone didn't charge last night. Because the cord's not plugged in. I wasn't. Anyway, so yeah, she's currently passing as a stormtrooper, and I'm trying to remember, wasn't there? Oh, and you were sort of taking the
She
major
was
of the
hanging out.
place.
Well, yeah, she was hanging out there until she could
Slip away.
slip away or hitch a ride back to the base or something.
Or just
Some sort of transport was going to be available for her to get back to the
yeah,
base
just
per Varala.
away from the base, if nothing else.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
But in the meantime, she has been scoping the place out
Right.
very intentionally.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hesmet is somewhat convinced that the whole place is that the base is about to come under attack based on intel from what Alir pulled out of the commander's thing. So he's kind of trying to organize the techs at the base for some sort of defense and scrambling.
And totally not rigging up the garage to explode.
Totally not rigging up the garage to explode, or each and every one of the speeder bikes therein, and the walker, etc.
I have to put so much work into those speeder bikes, disabling them, re-enabling them, tuning them.
Blowing them up, putting them back together again. Speeder bikes had a great fall. All of Ghana's efforts and all of Ghana's wrenches could not put the... No, that isn't. Funny thing. Ponder
Funny
this.
thing happened on the way to the speeder.
No. Because I was doing the Humpty Dumpty thing. I read this thing, it was a couple days ago. There isn't any point in the Humpty Dumpty rhyme that says he's an egg. At any point. Why is he an egg? Why is he always portrayed as an egg?
Because it's a kid's...
Yeah, but it never says he's an egg. Like, where do we find out that he's... Why did we collectively decide he's an egg?
Well, let me look that up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Fine.
Anyway, all right. So Hesmet is gathering all the techs and arming them in a most cavalier fashion. And also, I don't know, what are you doing with them once they're sort of scrambled? They're all prepared to fight. I mean, they're resistance fighters, but are you?
Totally only caught like half of that.
Oh, am I breaking up?
Not for me.
Okay. So my question, Mike, is what are you doing with these squints once they're bones phrase? What are you doing with these techs once they're all armed and stuff? Am I breaking up for you, Mike? Somebody else asked Mike if I'm breaking up.
You're not breaking up.
Yeah, quite a bit.
For me.
Okay. Am I breaking up for anybody else?
Yeah, you're breaking up quite a bit for me. Let me see if it's something on my end that I can fix.
Okay.
Because you're fine for me.
Yep.
Am I breaking up on your guys' end?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the reconnect really quick. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So the main theory on Humpty Dumpty is that originally he was a riddle.
Oh,
Humpty Dumpty, blah 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 blah. What am I?
oh.
So
And
riddle
the
game.
the answer was an egg, therefore he's being
Yeah,
betrayed,
it's
is
an
he?
egg.
Huh. Well, okay then. But it's kind of funny, right? I mean, you read that whole thing.
It is, yeah.
He's not an egg. He's just a dude.
The earliest version was Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. 80 men and 80 more could not make Humpty Dumpty where he was before.
What is he?
1797. So it's actually a fairly late nursery rhyme.
All things considered, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quite. Interesting. Now we know. Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So my question to you was, having assembled all of the tech nerds together and given them weapons, what are you doing with them while you're rigging the garage, or not, absolutely not rigging the garage? Do you have them sort of on high alert, or are they return to your normal stuff, but be armed and ready for anything?
I think he's going to have them all pull back to the base.
Okay.
Because having them, walk around with how secure they have been, considering they keep on arresting each other,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think is the best idea.
That's fair.
Because all it takes is one of them getting cornered, and then the whole jig is up.
Yeah. So you don't want to. Well, I mean, they're mostly in the base now. None of them are. There's a few that are doing patrols, but you can pull them back for sure. Do you want to put any of them out at the comm tower at all, or no?
I think there's a good idea to have at least a couple of them out there.
Okay. Sounds good to me, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at. Looking for a thing here. Okay. Margie is currently speeding back toward the base, right? On a speeder with Senator Lux Bentari slung over the, I guess what would be the gas tank.
Picky.
No complaints on my side. I'm totally okay with it. So that's where.
Well, and it's not like I'm going straight for the base. That would be foolish.
That's fair.
I can't hear Margie.
Oh boy, I'm doing this dance again. Let me see.
Reconnect.
Yeah, I think. Is there a thing I can set for the quality of the? Yeah, I have.
Mom?
Yeah, you can set the video quality.
I had the video bandwidth already set to low. So, Margie, say something.
Hello.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I don't think it likes us being on the same.
No. It's been kludgy about that in general, basically.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's good. It's just as well that we figure that out. Okay, and actually, speaking of, Alir, you finished sort of, I think we got all the questions answered with your hacking. So, my question is then,
Or was just asking him a question.
Oh, that's right.
I am receiving an incoming transmission from the Capitol. What would you like me to do?
Thank you so much for reminding me of that. I would have forgotten, and I would have felt really silly. So, Alir, I am receiving a message, an incoming transmission from the Capitol. What would you like me to do? All right, so that's where you are, and back up. You're floating in a sea of nothing at the moment.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
Dragged away through the alleys of Aziz.
That was before you got knocked out.
Well, no, the dragged away thing was was after he got knocked out.
Being dragged away unconscious is kind of an ongoing thing. So
Yeah,
fine.
that is what is happening. It is all the things that are happening. So that's where we all are, and I think we'll start with Alir. I am receiving an incoming transmission from the capital. What would you like me to do? It is possible that I will be able to resist any orders to immediately terminate you.
But
Thank you.
possible.
I just
Accept, reject, run.
so thoughts? I mean, there's also a possibility you might, since you have that isolated system, you might be able to do some sort of weird shunting of the signal through that thing to give him an extra layer of protection? Question mark? Maybe. If you're concerned, I mean, so there's stuff you have options here.
You're going to put it through the spam filter?
You could put you could more of a malware filter, but yeah, more of a malware kind of filter, but yes, something like that.
That seems a good idea to try and.
So get him in there and have him sit down next to the thing so you can wire him up. Is that the plan? Or tell me what you want to do.
No, I like kind of hooking him up.
Okay.
I also like letting Hesmet, who's the only other person currently at the base, letting him know, like, hey, hope that robot Tor doesn't kill me.
Well, I got two options for you. I can rig up an explosive to him, or I can stand there with a gun to his head while you're doing whatever you're doing. Or I can continue rigging up explosives out here. Your choice.
No, keep rigging explosives where you are. Just if he kills me, kill him.
Avenge me!
If he tries to kill you, I'll kill him right back. Okay.
Anyway, all right. So why don't you give? Okay, what are your? Let me look at your skill. I think you've got a move here that will be most appropriate. No. Where are we beeping? What did you do? Oh boy. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. We need your time.
That was entirely my plan.
Tell the GM what you want to tell you. Okay, that's. Huh. All right. So, yeah, I like this. This maps. I am invincible when performing stand-in defense as part of a virtual technological assault. You are defending, essentially, Tor from being hacked. So, you do stand-in defense and you roll canny, which, you know.
I like rolling candy.
You do like rolling canny. I can't imagine that you wouldn't like rolling canny. So, go ahead and roll canny. Oh, well, all right then.
Oh,
I like candy.
Oh,
that's a good joke.
so terrible. So terrible. All right. So, okay. Yeah, I'm going to give you an opportunity here. You can get the signal, neutralize it, so to speak, and listen in, and you will be absolutely undetectable, and it'll completely sanitize the signal for the purposes of getting to tour. Okay? And no one will be the wiser. Or you can backtrace along the link and attempt to use black hat on wherever the signal is coming from. But the chances of you being detected they exist, which they don't exist in the other scenario. So absolutely silent, figure out what the signal is, analyze the thing, totally passive sanitization for tour, or try some sort of riposte back at the guy or place or wherever it's coming from.
So it would open me up to detection.
It would open you up to detection. They would definitely know that something was up. Depending on how the roll goes and how the hacking goes.
If you didn't utterly crash their system.
If you didn't, yeah, it's like, I mean, you could do something.
Send up a blue screen of death?
Yeah, you might still rock it so hard that, hang on, my mic fell out. You might still rock it so hard that it doesn't end up being an issue. But alternately, they're going to figure out that the signal was hacked, and obviously the droid's been compromised, and so on and so forth. And they're not going to be able to do anything about that instantaneously, but they're definitely going to know that the base is blown. But it's a wicked opportunity. I mean, it is a highway straight back to their, like, where this command is coming from. It's got to be coming straight from the enemy, from the Empire. So there's got to be some kind of, it's a big opportunity.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? When you kind of regret rolling really well.
I think I will go with the black hat.
Okay. All right. So this is also uncanny.
Yep.
When you are interfacing with a computer system or network, you need to use it without permission. Roll canny. 10 plus, you're in. 7-9, you're in. But personnel or electronic defenses are inbound. You cannot slice into a starship without a hardline yet. What the?
I think I got in.
You mean invincible? Wait, no, wrong move.
Spike!
Can I set up more of the fire retardants to go off?
Sure.
There are such slugs.
This system is me bitch.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you are, you basically like reach over to Tor and look him in the eyes like, don't move.
I got this.
No matter what you do, don't move. And you're back along here, and you are you're definitely in the Imperial systems in the capital, in the and actually it doesn't take you very long to do basically a machine, force a machine identification to figure out exactly, I am invincible, to figure out exactly where you are. And you're definitely in machines in the castle, in the palace, in the Imperial section where the governor is active and stuff like that. And you kind of own things in here right now, so it's going to eventually go away, but for the nonce, send Spike. Enter password. All right. You could bring it all crashing down. You could blue screen like their system, just categorically.
That would slow them down.
Oh yeah, and you were past the point in the move where personnel are incoming, so they literally aren't going to know what happened. At least they're not going to be able to figure it out quickly.
I feel like some poor IT people are going to get force choked.
Yeah, if there's people around to be force choked, then that is definitely. The kids and I recently watched Empire Strikes Back, and there's a bit in that right towards the end where despite all their efforts, the Millennium Falcon finally jumps away at the end, and Vader's just there at the window, staring at the space where the ship had been,
And everybody looks very nervous.
and nobody moves. He goes and turns around and he looks, and then he looks back at the thing. It's hilarious, really. It's awfully funny because he turns away and he looks back at the window like, son of a bitch. And then he just walks off, and everybody who's down in the tech pit, like everyone, there's a guy holding a digital tablet, and he's looking at Vader, but he doesn't move. Like his hand is just frozen over the tablet, and he's just like, and nobody breathes until he's off the bridge. Anyway, so neither here nor there. Okay, so you wanna blue screen the palace?
I want to mess up their.
Send Spike. Tor, this might tickle a little bit. Bleep.
So Catherine, do you want to put in a back door?
Rolling brownouts throughout the palace for them. If you want them to know, if you want them to think it was a failure, you want to probably keep it simple, like some sort of. Basically, you could sort of bounce this hack command back at them, so they think that something malfunctioned. Stupid old droid, stupid command thing, blah blah blah. Tried to execute it, ended up resending it back to us, and the damn machines weren't hardened against this command. But if you start getting fancy, they're like, wait a minute, that wasn't even supposed to do that. Why did that happen?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So can she piggyback something that will give her a tunnel in later?
Yeah, probably. Certainly gives her the options there. Yeah, she can leave sort of a receptive radio antenna or something like that, something that's just sort of passively listening. So it'll do it'll do a handshake if she connects later. She may still need to get through the security, but she can get connected to the system. So yeah, you can set up a receptive modem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Crash the system, and when it starts back up, there's a quietly listening, just one quietly listening node, just waiting for Mistress's return. Beep, beep, beep. Ghana.
Yes.
So there's a commander. Your radio thing comes up, and the guy says, how's it? T4621, T4622, and T4628 return to the barracks. We're going to be return to the prisoner barracks. We're going to be conducting public discipline. Somebody actually.
Are you there during a prison riot?
Somebody. It sounds like they sort of managed to reconnect to the audio signal for the base, but they sound like a squirrel. It's just really high pitched and squealing. super painful, and everyone else is like, you can't actually hear them over the mics, but anybody who's standing nearby, you can hear them inside the helmet saying, "Stop talking! That really hurts! Stop it! You sound ridiculous!" But they can't hear because they're not actually on the thing. But yeah, it sounds like all the comms sort of went kerflooey. And right about then, you see like the gates are already opening, and like the sort of troop, like transport, like a sort of a air car transport shows up. What was that other question you were going to ask with your force sensitivity?
So my thought was to actually do the force sensitivity, I actually have to get in touch with the force. Do my call the force thing
Sure.
to get points.
Sure.
Which, given the situation, I was going to take the miss option because she's very clearly acting out of
I got to pull this up then and look at it because
bad emotions.
I got to remember how we wrote. Did we put
On a
it?
miss, choose. You're either too distracted or unsettled to concentrate right now, or you act out of anger, frustration, fear, hubris, etc. Probably fear, etc.
Is this the force?
This is call on the force.
Call on the force. Hey,
If so,
Margie,
hold 3 force point.
Margie, for a
Yes?
second, could you mute for just a bit?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Hold 3 force points. The GM
Right.
holds 1 dark side point to be used immediately or banked for later.
Right, yeah. You can always opt not to roll and take the miss option. And may even opt for the miss option after rolling a 7 or a 9. You can always opt for the miss option. You can opt for a miss option when you get a 12. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. So I might as well just do that thing because I aim to. I don't want to say I aim to misbehave. I aim to incur trouble here.
Because the transport's coming. You have very little time.
Well, what I was going to try to figure out.
What do you want out of this? Like
what I wanted to figure out was the assessed question is what is my biggest threat in this situation, but I saw that given the whole situation being sort of transmogrified more into a where am I most needed, because the suffering and the problems going on around me are too big for me to ignore.
Right. So you're sort of doing almost like
I'm not going to go all Tuscan Village on the prison camp.
No. So you're kind of doing the Luke Farseeing thing just to sort of figure out where things are worse at the moment, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you're doing it through the dark side. Oh, I'm sure that's not bad at all. Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Wait. Now I got to see what somebody said over here. That's a few dark side points away. Yeah, it is a few. Okay, so
I haven't started wearing. Well, I guess I am wearing. No, I'm not wearing dark clothes. I'm wearing bright white, shiny stormtrooper armor.
Yeah,
so I can't be going bad yet.
White covers the darkness within.
I'm not. Sure.
I've got a black bodysuit on underneath the.
I'm not sure if the argument I'm wearing a stormtrooper outfit so I can't be going bad is a very solid argument. Just FYI, I'm not sure that's really. That's not.
I have a proverbial white hat.
That is not.
Helmet.
That is not an argument you want to make.
I'm right here, you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Present, although somewhat unconscious, company excluded. Okay, so the I can't remember her name, but your rather violent and abuse-prone buddy from the ship comes over and kind of like taps you on the shoulder It's like it kind of points at the transport. Where are you gonna go? She kind of like lifts her helmet enough so you can kind of hear her, and you're just kind of like you're just kind of trying to get a sense of that. So just out of sheer desperation, you just kind of almost hurl yourself into the force. You're kind of reaching for the jungle and don't quite get there. And yeah, I mean, obviously your surroundings are heavily coloring or affecting this. It's dark swelling and you're panicking. You hear the probably weeks worth of cries of these prisoners, or months or years of these months of these prisoners crying out for help or for mercy, not getting it. The chuckles of the stormtroopers, and that sort of bleeds into that sort of red and tooth and claw nature of the jungle itself. As you're casting out, trying to figure out where your allies are, where, if you have any allies, if you have any friends left, it doesn't feel like it. You manage to channel this by thinking it's like, okay, which of my friends are in the most pain? Like, where is the agony at? You get sort of a red banked ember glow off of what you think maybe is Hesmet, but that's not so much an active thing. It's just sort of an ongoing, stored rage. And then you get a really, really, really clear picture of the city of Aziz as you're like zooming in on some buildings, and you see, like, you come into this like sort of shadowy back room in this building, and you see backup like stripped down to like a undershirt and like the sort of like, I don't want to say shorts because that leaves the wrong impression, but since he's got like droid legs, his actual like regular pants are just kind of cut off at the metal. So basically shorts and an undershirt, like it's sort of strapped down to this, tied to this chair rack kind of thing. And Saw is there and like digging into like the seam kind of between where the arm meets the shoulder, or where the arm meets the meat, where the droid part meets the meat, and he's saying something, and Backup is grimacing. That is clearly where the greatest pain is at. So clearly you need to get back to
unless you count your own pain of embarrassment and
agony, and but that he's back at the city, so that's clearly where you need to go.
I need to go now.
Where do you want me to tell him to take you?
Back to the city. Back to Aziz.
Oh,
that would be easiest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like an hour, but yeah, sure. And she kind of goes over there, and through some various hand gestures, everyone keeps whacking on their helmet and stuff like that. But there seems like something with the Imperial, something is some sort of weird comm signal disruption. Yeah, funny thing how that happened. Disconcerting that it happened, honestly, because Alir was doing that to the governor's palace, and these guys are working for the this is the admiral's base, and there's some sort of weird. You got a little bit of a spread.
Admiral.
You got a weird spread there. Interesting. Admiral. Anyway, so you pile into the troop transport, and you're the only person who's leaving the thing at this point. So
I'm kind of
the commander doesn't
watching as we're heading out. Just if there's anything weird besides people tapping on their comms.
No. A couple of the troopers that were called, one of which was your number. The other two that were called are headed over to looks like one of the prisoner bases. And there's a sinking sense of just this frustration and shame, really, because you're leaving and you know that something bad is about to happen. I mean, It's time for the
Mhm.
it's time for the public something or other, and they're heading for the prisoner barracks. There's no good there, and
And I'm glad I'm not there, and I feel horrible about feeling glad about it.
yeah, so there's really no good there. Um, so, and Hesmet's there going, I would never have left. Yeah, you probably would have never left. Seriously, like as in made it out. But boy, there would have been some dead guys by the end.
I would have been one of them.
All right. So you're tearing back to the city. And then we'll switch. And Margie can unmute because Margie is tearing away from the city, and we want to address
Pew
that.
pew pew. Sorry.
Meanwhile, I found. I remember where I need to look. So Margie, you're about, and like you say, you're not going directly back to. You're not
Yeah,
going.
I don't want to lead anybody home.
No, makes total sense. So the question then is, well, you're looping out. You're taking your time, and that's not really a problem. I mean, it's leading people a merry
Can I
chase.
strip him on the way?
What's that?
Yeah. Can I strip him on the way just in case he has any kind of tracking beacons on him?
Oh, he's going to have. Well, yeah. Why don't you give me a? I'm going to say canny.
I can canny.
Yeah, why don't you give me a canny roll and see if you can spot whatever would be going on there. Oh, look at that! You
I
can.
can too canny.
You can totally canny. You're super totally canny. So actually, you pull over for a little bit, kind of lay him out, and he's got like this weird little ring with some circuitry on it, and like I want to say like sort of a medallion thing. It looks like it's got some circuitry in it. So it's easy enough to kind of put that in a case or something on the bike that's going to be shielded, so it's not going to have a signal. Or you can just step on them. But the ring looks kind of nice, so maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll seal it in. Kind of like you put your passport inside the non.
You got the
RFI.
Yeah, you got the RFID blocking thing going on there. Somewhere along there, he's kind of like groaning and coming to like, what?
To whack him again or not to whack him again? That is the question.
It is the question. Indeed, the question. What do you do?
I whack him again.
Oh, God. Okay.
I remember I'm not, I'm a pilot. I'm not a fighter. I whack him on the head and continue on flying, not fighting.
I completely concede I concede the reasoning for your argument. I just feel bad for his head.
I understand he has a pretty hard head.
That's fair. He's a politician. Okay, let me look at. I want to look at something here real quick.
On a harder heart. Bump.
I don't know if I need to. Oh, you never know. All right. No, he goes back out. You kind of sling him back over the bike and get moving again. Why don't you? I'm going to have you act under pressure though, as just for the purposes of navigating your way back to the base, which is act under pressure is what? Cool. Yep. Because there are some patrols out. There's some flights up and stuff like that, and I'm okay.
You're just looking for somebody to roll over.
No. Ooh. Okay. Hey, look, get some XP.
Woohoo! Check.
So yeah, check the box. Think about that for a second.
What you're saying? I don't want to get caught with the senator
slung unconscious over
my handlebars.
I am in fact saying something very much like that. Yes. Okay. So actually, this ties in really well. You're getting relatively close to the base, but you realize that you've got a so this is probably after another hour or so of travel, and you're getting relatively close to the base, and you realize that the base is getting a flyby from like the TIE fighter patrol that's coming over. If you go anywhere near there, and you're not in anything like stormtrooper attire, you got a body sling over there. There's obviously you can't go anywhere near there. The option would be, I mean, the problem is you've got a bike out here. You're going to stand out like nobody's business. You can make a run for it, like just sort of head off nowhere, or you can get under cover that's going to be much less likely to actually draw any kind of attention from the bike being out there. You could.
But we do have some lovely animals too. Keep me interested.
Yeah, the problem is if you go to the ruins, you have a chance of running into those frickin' chameleon lizards. What did I call those?
Stinky lizard things.
I can't remember what I called them. But yeah, you can run into those chameleon things with the tongues. Or what else is around there? You can go into the ruins, but the ruins run that risk. You can go to the Cow Tower. That's like 5 or 6 clicks away, and it's camouflaged, and it's also inside, so you could park the bike and hole up there.
Well, and communicate over a more secure line to the base.
Yeah, you could basically use a hard line to get a signal back up, to communicate back to the base.
Can I do that? Staying undercover for as much as possible without running too much risk.
Yes, probably. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The biggest problem is, you're just going to be going back there.
So do you want a flight skill of some kind?
I don't. Yeah. Why don't you give me the what's the flight?
Devil in the cockpit.
Yes. Is that when you even have to roll though?
When piloting a vehicle in a high stretch situation, roll canny on a 10 or more.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Hold 3 on it, you have to hold 2.
I'm not sure if it's that close because they're actually out here for a different reason.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I don't think you need to roll. I think you're good. If it's mostly the thing is they're driving you away from the base, so that's the main thing. Okay. So yeah, you swing back around there, but you're really paying attention to that and getting back over. Where are we at here? Let me get a different. Is this one? Yeah, we can do this. So you kind of. Actually, we'll pull everybody over here. There, a different screen.
Fancy.
So, yeah, I just found this like a week ago. I was like, oh, hey, look at that. I can use that. And then, so
I can steal that.
I can steal that. That's a thing. All right, so you basically pull in there and rather than leave the bike out, just kind of like pull it into that.
Mm-hmm. Or at least under the camouflage, yeah.
All right, so you kind of shove the bike, kind of leave it sort of idling a little bit, and sort of coast it in the rest of the way, and then kind of look back out, and you're checking for the thing to come back, and then you kind of like slide back in there and head over to the terminal, and you hear Bonteri say, "Before you hit me, please don't hit me again. Please."
It's like the worst reasoning ever.
I would like to. I mean, I'm sure you have your reasons for hitting me.
Parlay.
I'm sure you have your reasons for wanting to hit me. But before you do, I would like to strongly express my desire not to be hit.
I would hit him just out of principle.
If that carries any weight at all, I would just like to sincerely ask you, please don't hit me again. He is, while you were busy, like, checking the thing and stuff like that, he kind of like pushed himself off, and he's still kind of like on a chair. He's not going to put up any kind of fight because, stun grenade, clubbed upside the head. He's had a bad day. But I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel as though we could probably do something that isn't hitting and have and have a protect and have some sort of productive.
Bonk bonk on the head.
Nice.
If you feel very strongly about me being hit, I could simply lie down on the floor and pretend to have been hit, and we can just tell everyone that you did hit me again.
Or might I suggest hitting me here?
I'm fine with that. I have no ego about this sort of thing. I am perfectly willing to be hit by a beautiful woman and pretend to be hit by a beautiful woman and be knocked out cold. I will tell everyone that it was very well done. On the condition...
I really don't care what you say.
On the condition that it not actually happen. Yeah. On the condition that it not actually happen, I will make you sound like one of the mightiest warriors in the inner rim.
Yeah, no one's going to believe you. I'm not a warrior. As long as you don't cause me trouble, I don't see any need to smack you upside the head again. But just know that, I really don't care one way or another what happens to you.
Aside from the fact that you hit me, I have no reason to cause you trouble. And I am willing to let go of that particular motivation. I don't have any particular attachment to it.
He's such a politician.
He really... Well, it's half politician, he's half being like sort of unconsciously charming.
Which is why he's a politician.
Which is why, I suppose that's probably true. So, I'm just going to, you do what you do, and I'm going to go over here and see if I can remember my mother's name. Hesman's like, I would have hit this guy so many times by this point in time. I have a hydrospanner in my hand. Is that also like a pen or something, or is it just like a...
It is also a pen.
It is also a pen. Nice.
So I need to give this to Dave next time I see him.
Yep. Need another game day. All
right.
Somewhere.
So...
Okay.
Well, my first concern is to make sure that the base knows that there's TIE fighters, flying around. I'm assuming they do, but also to let them know I'm here and where I am, so they don't do something stupid like, send out the trainers on a
blow you up.
Okay.
Training mission to take the tower while I'm here or something stupid.
Okay. So you get, you open up like the hard line, and you signal basically the comms room, the command room back in the base, and you don't get a Lear, which is a shocker. You didn't think that ever happened, but apparently she's busy doing something else, and. Conscious. What is that? What is that from?
Farscape.
Oh yeah. That's really funny. God, I need to watch Farscape again.
Hold on. It is the whole series on Blu-ray is $80 on Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the next thing I'm buying.
I think we have it all on. I think we have it all on DVD at this point in time. We went through the painful process of getting it on DVD last.
They took it off Netflix. Oh, I'm very disappointed.
It's very sad. Okay, so you're where? You're at the comm center. Okay. Oh, the TIE fighters fly. Okay. Yeah, we apparently that's what O'Leary's working on. There's some sort of incoming signal. So apparently they're, we don't have visual.
By the way, I have the senator.
You have the,
No. I'm sorry. Who am I talking to?
I'm going to steal this guy's name. It's Bakesh.
Okay, I wouldn't say that to Bakesh. No. I'm just saying. And I have company.
Is it good company or bad company? They do the thing
it's a surprise.
Standard Rebels thing where like every NPC has a cap that completely covers their eyes.
Bad witch.
It's a surprise.
So maybe you could have backup.
Backups.
No, excuse me. Hesmet call me when.
All right.
I know backup's not there.
I'll let Hesmet.
Backup or Hesmet call me when they're in.
Did you didn't know what happened to backup? Would you have asked if backup was back yet or anything, or no?
Well, I'll just assume he is. I'll say have Hesmet or backup call me.
Okay. Sure. Yes. Over and out. Click.
What kind of rebel security is that? No.
It is probably better that they didn't transfer her over to me, because I don't think she would have liked what I'm doing at the moment.
All right. So Bonteri kind of, that was just about the best conversation I could have possibly heard you hear or overheard. Sorry for eavesdropping. But when the TIE fighter stuff flying, I would love to get to the base.
What base?
The Whisper station that you snuck away from the Empire about 2 months ago. I'm your contact from the Rebels. I'm here to train some of your people on the proper way to send small packets of data that can't be easily traced back to your base. Sorry, I should have.
I don't like him.
Let me back up. I'm your Fulcrum. Nothing?
Am I expecting anybody at all? Because like right now, I'm so pissed at the local rebel folks that I could care less if that's who he is. I might just bonk him on the head one more time just to stop listening to him.
That might be really fun. It's like, oh, cool. Whack.
We could use smaller packets of information from you, buddy.
I don't.
Yeah, you got some small packets.
Don't know. Here's the thing. So it's funny because Alir was told this and backup would have heard it, but I'm not sure if, and maybe, Hesmet was in a mope, so I don't know if he would have really been paying attention, but.
And I don't know that anyone would have said anything to me because I was
in the
down
city.
In the market.
Alir was sending up the intel back to the Rebels, and the Rebels said,
too much info.
You're sending too much info. We are sending an operative to help out with that, and the call sign was Fulcrum. I'm not sure, and I don't think at the time that I said it, because this was a while back, I don't think Bill hadn't been watching Rebels, so that name probably just went meow, and Alir hasn't been talking to anybody.
I've been busy.
So I'm not saying you haven't been busy. I'm just saying there's a.
What you're? So I'm looking into what you're the Greek principle of leverage. Whatever.
No, I'm your.
Gosh. Adults are busy here.
Please, just cuff me, or please don't hit me again. But just cuff me and take me to the base. I've got the calls.
I can't.
You don't have restraints?
No, I can't take you to the base.
Oh, of course you can.
She has no restraint.
No, that's you, dear.
Well, what are we going?
Yes, I woke up on a spaceship.
All right. So, then what are we going to?
No. Let me rephrase this. I am not taking you anywhere until I talk to people who maybe have more information about you.
Fair enough.
Because
do you have a canteen? I'm thirsty, and we'll stop with you guys right here because we need to go.
I'll just point him to to the stale water container in the corner.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Watch out for the chameleons.
Wonderful hospitality. All right. So,
darn, and here I was all planning on trading him to Saul for backup.
Oh God.
That could still happen.
I think by the end of this,
especially if he tries to tell me how to do my job.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. The Rebels did. They just sent him to.
Yeah. So Joyce, I think that by the end of this particular little mini arc, I might be resolving one of my
bonds
with the rebels.
Oh, the rebels.
The rebels are our only hope for humanity.
Oh yeah, the rebels. Yeah. The rebels are a pain in the ass who keep getting involved in my business.
Let's just say some rebels are the only hope for humanity.
Okay.
There's no "the" anymore.
So we're gonna get to back up. Oops, I forgot something there. I should bring everybody else along. Well, all right. So back up. Trying to figure out the timing on this. Oh, you know what? I need to. Let me make sure I can actually do this. Does this work? No, that doesn't work. There we go. All right. So Bill, I just shot you a little text message thing. Secret G.
I'm totally fine with that.
All right. All right. Cool. Because when I realized that was a thing, I was like,
I assume that players know how their characters work and what they know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So that's what makes it more fun. Because then the audience knows and the characters know. Anyway, all right. So, I think a glass like a thing of water. Sure, water. Actually, no. I'd probably just let you wake up. All right. So you kind of blink yourself awake. What are you flashing back on, or sort of as you're waking up from this? So you were knocked unconscious, drugged through, you've been tied down in some fashion, and have been unconscious, and you're slowly coming to in an unfriendly scenario. As you're doing this and you're sort of coming back out of this sort of unconscious swirling state, you're kind of mixing up the past and the present. What's the situation that you think you're waking up from versus the one that you're actually waking up from?
This is where the resistance training comes back, and not our resistance. I'm pretty much expecting to see an interrogation droid kind of float in at this point.
Okay.
Waiting for the needle.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So what you're waking up to is you're expecting like a droid ship or something like that, and then basically to be surrounded by clankers.
Yep.
And that sort of thing. And as you're waking up, things start to feel off. It's too dim. You can't quite make it out. So you're kind of getting that weird, almost like the imagery that was in your dream is you're trying to, I know this happened. I'm assuming this happens to people besides me, but when you wake up in what is absolutely your bedroom that you woke up in 100 times before, but you cannot make heads or tails of why the window is there and why the door is over there and what room are you actually in, kind of thing.
The brain fills in missing gaps with familiar memories.
Right, yeah. So you're sort of, there's not a lot of input to give you to make you think any of this, and there's a lot of contradictory stuff, which makes it more confusing because your brain it wants it to be a metal rack that you're, a metal like examination table at a 45-degree angle that you're tied to, and it's a chair, and or like a table or something like that just sort of leaning up against the wall, and you want it to be metal and it's wood, and you want it to be this droid thing, and it's just this back room and probably like an abandoned like shop or something like that. And it's sort of you blink and it's the one thing, and you blink and it's the other thing, and you're kind of shaking your way out of it. And then the droid comes in, except it's not the droid. I mean, the door opens and you're expecting the droid to come into this seedy thing, and it's just Saw, walking in. There's a couple, and you're kind of like seeing that there's a couple of the people that were in the room that kind of in the back. Saw comes in, and he walks right up to you with like this glass of water, and just kind of holds it up, kind of up near your mouth, and kind of like sort of halfway makes a motion like, do you want this or not, kind of thing.
I'm just going to sit here.
He takes a drink, puts it back over here. He's not raging, which doesn't really track with what the read that you've taken on him in the past. Probably not a good sign. Lux Bonteri is a traitor. Lux Bonteri went back pretending to be a hero to this world after we freed ourselves from the Separatists. And Lux Bonteri signed off on laws that took our wealth away, took our people away, put a governor in place of our elected leaders. And then, when the emperor took over, Lux Bonteri stayed in the Senate. He kept working with him. And when the stormtroopers showed up, the vote that put them on this planet, you know what he voted? You know what he voted when the stormtroopers were sent to Onderon to take over and protect the planet from dangerous terrorist forces that were putting the locals in that they needed to be protected from? He voted present. Not even against. Not even for. Just present. Let's see if I can share that so people can see it. 4:15. Saw's bitching about Lux Bonteri. And because of those stormtroopers, thousands of people have died or disappeared or wasted away in camps spread out all over the entire planet. Because of Lux Bonteri, this planet is lost. We're never going to get this world back. The best we can possibly do is make it so useless to them that they leave, and then it'll be useless for us too. All we can do is ruin it for them because of what he did. And he was walking down the street right through my people, and you rescued him. Now, I shouldn't be surprised because you're sitting there in like the shorts and the shirt and everything like that. I've seen how everybody in your little rebel team looks at you like you're some sort of returning hero from the thing, but I know clones. I've met dozens of you. And he doesn't mean like dozens of you clones. He means like dozens of you. Like, that's the way he's saying it. I've met dozens of you. And I've met, I like the little messages that keep showing up around Bonteri. And I've known Jedi. And I know why the Jedi are gone. I know who took out most of the Jedi. And none of these little fools that are following you around like you're the second coming who's going to like lead them through with your great experience even understand. And he takes his finger and he kind of like digs into that that ridge of flesh in between the scars there between your, like where your arm meets and stuff like that. They even understand those scars. I've seen those scars. I've seen them inflicted on our people by Count Dooku and by his little witch that he had enforcing the peace when the Separatists were here. The ones that managed to survive. I know what those are, and you didn't get them from fighting Dooku. You got them the same way every other surviving clone got them. You got them from the Jedi that are dead. You got them from your own commander. And then this little traitor, clone, pretending to be a soldier, pretending to be some kind of rebel hero, magically shows up and rescues Lux Bonteri. So, I'm not going to ask you anything. Because you're not going to tell me anything. I'm going to send you back to your commander, your new commander, in pieces. Until they give me Lux Bonteri back from wherever you hid him away in the city. Any thoughts on that?
If you think you can do worse than what's already been done, you're welcome to try.
Oh, I'm no Jedi. When I take pieces off, it's not going to be nearly as elegant. I would never dream to think I could do to you what your commander that trusted you did, because I don't trust you, and I'm no Jedi. All I have is this, and he pulls out like basically like a sawzall. This is not elegant. I'm really sorry about that. But it's going to get to work. It's going to get the job done. And then he, for some reason, I've got that picture of like Leia when the black interrogation droid's coming in. 4:15. Who's typing? Oh, Hesman's typing again. So
But I got one other thing to say.
Oh, wait, what's that?
You were going to kill someone because of your anger. I understand that. But the fight that I'm in doesn't let me just kill sitting senators because I don't like them.
That's because,
so if you're good, if I had my choice and I did, you get to torture and kill one expendable clone instead of a Republic senator, and I consider that a good choice. Do what you got to do.
Spoken like a true clone. I can't decide if it's because I'm getting an echo. You know, I don't know if you're saying that because you're a rebel and you're soft, or if you're saying it because you're a traitor and you're just sacrificing yourself for another traitor. And honestly, I don't really care. Okay, so I would like you, Bill, to roll. Actually, what do I want you to roll? When he comes in with this thing, what are you just gonna? Because he's going to come in and apply this to you. I kind of want you just to act under pressure because this seems like cool to me or something. But you could try to do something like.
Well, I'm looking for any way out, but I kind of assume I'm under pretty heavy guard.
Well, so here's the situation. You're tied to kind of like a heavy wooden chair.
What part of me specifically is tied?
Your legs are tied to the legs, and your arms are tied to the arms. Your head's free. And there's like two other guys in the room. Now, you do have droid legs.
Yep.
And you do have a droid arm. It's a pretty heavy chair. I mean, the ties aren't rope. It's like a cable kind of thing. So you've got a pretty good chance of potentially getting getting loose there. You can absolutely do that. It would basically be act under pressure, really. What are we doing here? The machine. Really? Really? I don't even know what the image is. I just saw what the link was. So
I recognize that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just took 5 years of your life away. 1 year.
Like in my head as a player, I'm sort of feeling that I'm not going to get out of this whole scene with like all of Backup's limbs intact, so I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah.
If the option to break free exists, I'm definitely going to take it.
Okay. All right. So he's going to go. What he's doing, which honestly kind of works to your advantage. He's coming at your droid arm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to do that one first. And he's motioning for one of the other guys to come and grab like the other arm. And the other guy's just sort of grabbing the chair just to hold the chair steady. But if you basically let him have it, like let him have his shot at the arm, you're probably going to lose. I mean, odds are this thing's going to go through that thing like butter probably. But you've got a really good chance while they're dealing with that to make a move.
I'm pretty okay with that.
It's going to cost you an arm, you know.
As long as it's not an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I keep turning left just forever. Okay, so why don't you act under pressure and let's see how that actually goes. And, all right. Mark XP.
Right.
Back up, Mark XP. God, you rolled a 3. Cool. God, that's a terrible roll.
Yeah. I'll mark a point of luck to change that roll to a 12.
Oh, will you? All right. Yep. I like it. All right. So, all right.
Does that mean I still get the XP? I assume not.
No, probably no. You don't get to keep the XP, but you do get to not have it go horribly awry. Okay. So. Ghana, you are approaching where your senses tell you, and you've shucked kind of everything but the armor.
I'm not wandering around Aziz in solo in a stormtrooper outfit.
You've sort of
she's not that far gone.
No, you've sort of got the you've got the utility belt. It's classic like original Star Wars New Hope. You've got the utility belt and that you kept because it's got a lot of cool stuff on it, and you've got that strapped, and you got like a cloak. You got your clothes on that you had in your pack and that kind of thing, and you're hurrying as fast as you can to this like storefront that you thing, and you hear this whine of like some sort of like heavy machinery starting up. It sounds like a bandsaw. You recognize it actually because you worked in machine shops and stuff like that. And it's not a good sound. It's definitely not a sound that should be coming out of like like an abandoned general store. What do? You can assume now. So I want to remind you, you still have 2 force points, nice angry force points that you haven't used.
Am I still sensing backup and the whole urgency of this, or is that just...
That's not a linger. Well, think about it this way. Luke saw his vision of Han and Leia and everything like that on Cloud City, and he had time to like clean up his ship, have like what sounded like a day's worth of arguments with Yoda, get back into his thing, get in the ship, go through hyperspace, land on Bespin, and still have a tremendous amount of urgency about the vision that he's had. So yeah, it lingers with you like a very bad nightmare kind of.
Yeah, well, not necessarily the emotional aspect of it, because I figure that's almost certainly there, but just any sort of, homing in on backup versus. Yeah, how much of that is current versus past?
Yes. If you want to use a Ferris point, I can give you all kinds of information on that. One of your 2.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely at this point.
Okay, so given that, Yeah, you're picking. So what you're getting when you reach out to see if backup is still there, basically your sense is, emotionally speaking, what you're sensing is a very heavy-duty bottle that is completely encased and capped off and absolutely contained. And inside of that thing, there is a hurricane of absolutely contained anger and panic and, I'm going to say, a hint of shame and resolution. And yeah, it's definitely backup. And he's definitely in there. And he's definitely about to do something. And he's also definitely in a lot of danger. He's like, yeah. His heart's going like a trip hammer and all that kind of stuff.
If I can find my way to down the alley to the side door of this place,
okay,
and kick the frickin' door open with my stormtrooper blaster in one hand,
yeah,
and my hydra spanner in the other.
Okay, all right. So you break in there, and we're gonna roll. So all right, here's what we got. All right. We backup got a 12. Okay, so you the big cutting implement that Saw is bringing down. The saw that Saw is bringing down.
Yeah.
I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. He gets it about halfway into the and there's, unfortunately, it is a droid arm. There is sensory feedback. So you back up. You hold on to that as long as you can, and then it's about, I'm going to say, about halfway through what the like just below the elbow joint, and you've probably gone through like sort of that first equivalent of a bone kind of thing through that stuff. That's when you go. So what do you do to kind of, you've got one guy holding your arm, one guy kind of holding the chair, you're tied to the legs. What do you do? Because you got a 12. You can pretty much tell me how this goes down in terms of whatever.
So I'm gonna assert that at least one of these guys has a blaster sidearm.
Yeah, all of them do. Saw, well, no, Saw doesn't at this point, but yeah, the other two do, sir.
Fair enough. So I'm gonna see if I can whip around, like, resisting and fighting is probably put a lot of tension on this whole system. When that arm comes off, that tension is going to be released.
Okay.
And if I'm planning what I'm going to do, it may catch these guys by surprise. I don't know how many arms they've cut off in their careers. I'm hoping this is kind of a first time thing.
It's definitely a first time thing for everyone, but Saw's kind of 50-50. Hesmet would say like 90-10.
So they're probably not going to. They're probably going to be at least a little surprised. I'm going to grab. Not grab. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring this sparking, suddenly lit up stump into the guy's eyes that's holding my other arm.
Okay, so kind of across your body, kind of a thing. All right. And
he's hopefully going to flinch off of that.
Okay. Yeah.
Grab his gun.
Okay.
And then back the fuck up.
Okay, so how are you getting out of the chair? Are you just kind of like standing?
Not getting out of the chair yet. Just
you're kicking,
like throwing myself backwards,
kicking
away.
Back. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you can kind of reach over there. All right. So you do that. He flinches back. You grab the thing, and then you basically throw yourself backwards at the wall. And you can throw yourself backwards with a good amount of force if you're not particularly worried about yourself. The chair takes most of it. The chair is also kind of in pieces, but you're on the ground. So Saw is kind of standing there. The other guy behind the chair, actually, that's why you don't take a lot of damage. The guy behind the chair. He get he's not down, but he's not happy. And then Saw's sort of standing still, sort of in the middle of the room with the Sawzall. And then the door, like back out into the back alley, busts open, and Ghana like leaps in with a hydro spanner in one hand and a blaster in the other.
Get away from him, you son of a bitch!
I got one more move if I got time for it.
What's that?
I'm gonna
Hopefully
blast
I've
that
distracted them, if nothing else.
You're gonna what now?
I'm gonna blast his cutting tool.
Oh, shoot, saw. God,
Yeah.
Don't say that multiple times. I'm gonna make you roll for that. I think there's a lot in that 12.
That sounds good.
So yeah, why don't you give me a rugged? I think it's a rugged for this.
Okay.
Normally it would be a yeah, it is a rugged. Never mind. Oh my God, nice shot. Left-handed too. All right. Or was it right-handed? Which one's your droid arm?
I'm assuming it's the right hand, so yeah, left-handed.
Left-handed shot. All right. So yeah, that he's got the thing, and he kind of like brings it up a little bit. Not like he's going to attack, but just kind of like almost a flinch when the door busts open. And then you shoot the thing, and that hits the blade and starts to wobble, and he just kind of throws it away with a snarl. Okay, what does he say? So you say, "Get away from him, you son of a bitch," and the other guy is like unarmed. The other guy's like trying to get out from behind / under backup. Nobody's really got a gun on you at this point, honestly. Ghana. Saw just glares at you. So you're here to rescue the traitor?
He's my traitor, so get the heck away from him.
Lux Bonteri came back to the planet, and we had him, and he rescued him from us. Lux Bonteri. Do you know what he's done to this world?
Hey, Doyce, while Saw is going off, I'm gonna thumb this blaster over to stun and shoot Saw.
Okay.
You bastard! Well, you caught him monologuing.
Give him you sly bugger. Got me monologuing. Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Rugged again, or just do it?
Yeah, give me rugged again. I'm curious to see if he might get away. Oh my God. All right, we'll come back to you. So you shoot him and he kind of like reels sideways. Okay. What? I gotta see now. Very good. You guys, there's too many people willing to search for the correct memes. All the memes.
When you want to kill traitors, don't talk.
Hesmet.
Yes.
Okay. A guy comes in to the garage. What are you actually doing?
I am turning the blast doors into the exact opposite of the blast doors.
Blasted doors?
No, when they will blast.
Okay. All right. Shape charges going outward. The guy's kind of looking at you like, what? Okay. All right. Well, actually, no, because I mean, they would know about you. You're kind of a urban myth, I was going to say, with the resistance on the planet. Hey, Hesmet, who's the one alien space chick who's been like in town for a while? She said she's at the comm station, but she can't come here because of the X-Wings flying around. Or not X-Wings, sorry. TIE fighters flying around.
Ghana?
She said she has a guest, and I was supposed to tell you that she's got a guest.
Alir? Akana?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The one where you got to clear your throat a little bit when you say her name. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So
we have people going there. What's the problem?
Well, she asked for you. We have people going there? When do we have people going there?
I had people going there. I told the people on patrol to go there.
How long ago?
20 minutes ago.
She didn't say anything about there being anybody over at the comm station. They should have been there by then.
Well, that's not good. Get me a headset.
He runs over to a bench and comes back with one.
All right. I think it's time to call up Kana.
Margie.
You're on mute.
I know. I'm trying to unmute.
Oh, okay, I see. So you get a little deep deep and
right. So yeah, I have some company here with me. So
like what kind of company?
Well, they think they're important, but I'm not so sure about them.
Oh, I didn't say I was important. I said I was your contact.
Listen, I have people here who may or may not want to be here. And
okay, who is it?
I guess we're secure.
Well,
are we?
If there's leverage or hypotenuse or lever, cantilever,
teeter-totter, something. I don't know.
I think his name was.
Would Hesmet know about the people that we were tracking, the landing? He would have gotten that message, right?
Yeah, I was at that briefing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of those people we were talking about coming to Planet recently.
Which one? The one with the horns?
Pew 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 pew.
Wait.
I don't think Hesma would know about the pew 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 part.
No, I wouldn't.
Not the one. Not the one with the horns.
No. Not in a uniform.
Wait, you don't have Lux Bonterre, do you? Because if you do not let Saw know you have him.
Yeah, it wasn't my plan.
You have no idea how obsessed this guy is with Lux Bonterre, and somewhere on the comms, instantaneously and completely impossibly, Backup and Ghana both go, yes, we do know how bad it is.
I'm not on the comms, I'm on the landline.
Right, you're on the landline. All right, so so yeah, Hesma, you wouldn't be on a headset, you'd be on like the wired, like
on the Bakelite phone.
The big Bakelite one that's like wired into a panel on the side of the blast doors.
Uh-huh.
And you have some friends in the sky, right?
Yeah, we're dealing with them.
So I didn't really want to come in, on my speeder. So
well, we have other people coming in. Apparently, there's troopers looking for us, and I'm rigging up this door to explode outward. I wouldn't come here
either. So Joyce, where are the various planes right now?
The ties have.
No, my planes.
Oh, your planes.
My planes, the ones they haven't already destroyed.
Only blew up the one. You've got right now. You've got the KISS is in the base, and the messed up Gazanti, not Gazanti. Is it Gazanti? Yeah, the Gazanti freighter, the one that the Black Sun was using is also there, although that one was jacked up and the top fin was basically jacked up. So that's
what about the ship that was the station commander's?
That's the one that got.
That's the one you blew up.
That's the one that got fragged. Oh, and you also have intel about 3 T-47, T something or other, skyhoppers, like the ones that Luke Skywalker uses to bullseye womp rats back home. They're not. They're air speeders. They're not spacecraft. But there's 3 of those, not too badly messed up, but sort of crashed out in the jungle that you've got intel on, but you don't. I mean, they're not. The junk trader back in town, Kavia, was like, I will tell you where those are as long as I get like a cut on, if I get one straight up, I'll give you the other 2 for whatever you need them for, kind of a thing.
Right.
So you know where those are, and odds are, what she said is they basically crashed out of incompetence, and they could have probably flown them back out, but they didn't know how because they're terrible. So you kind of know where those are. So you kind of count those in your head as sort of yours. It's just you haven't bothered to go in.
I just haven't bothered to pick them up yet.
To go and get them yet. So you've got the 2 back in the base. So the Gazanti is certainly heavier, but it's a little bit banged up. The Kiss doesn't have the same armor.
Doesn't have the firepower.
Doesn't have the firepower, but it's also.
I mean, the Kiss is if we decide to blow things out.
It's fully
to leave town.
Yeah, it's fully functional. Oh, and the other thing, Hesmet, was I think you were going to mention is that apparently you had sent some guys out there and they're not there, or you were going to verify that they weren't there or something.
Oh yeah. So.
Do we have any kind of view from the tower? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go.
I was just gonna be like, kind of. Did those are those guys helping you out with Bonterra?
There are no guys.
I sent those guys out there like half an hour ago.
Nobody's here.
Well,
I've been having to deal with this prick by myself.
Can still hear you.
Don't care.
Okay.
Neither do I.
That's fair. You don't have windows, but you've got. If you see on this panel here, there's like 4 screens, and those are like slaved to security cameras that backup set up on like the points of the building, and there's like one over kind of on the array, that kind of thing. Yeah. You might even be able. He's probably got more cameras laid out in various parts, various locations between here and the base. If you can figure out how to move the sort of retask the security screens, if you want to try that, try to figure out how to make those things not show the immediate cameras and stuff like that. But
not to make things harder for myself, but. Like what Alira did it impact any of our systems, which are technically?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
She rolled way too good for that to happen.
Okay.
Way too well for that to happen. So no, it didn't bounce back on you guys. Honestly, it's weird that it bounced back over where Ghana was at. So.
Yeah, I think that tells us something.
It does indeed. It does indeed.
Okay.
So. You don't see them on the immediate cameras. You don't see any of your guys.
Okay.
So, do you want to try and look at other cameras, or you could have them do it? I mean, they've got the whole command center there. They can actually check out more of the cameras and start checking out the ones. There's some of them that are just sort of passive, but they're not like on constant loop to check because they're not.
So Hazmat, I can't see anybody on the cameras. The building cameras here. Do you want me to search out in the jungle cameras, or do you think that? I mean, how likely do you think it is that somebody knows where this is?
If they're all networked, I could probably figure out how to get the screens to show the cameras. I'd be perfectly willing to help.
Is he still talking? Throw something at him.
I throw a water bottle at him.
You had a water bottle?
Of course.
He's not even outraged at the throwing. He's outraged at the withholding.
I know. That's why I said I threw a water bottle.
Yeah,
just to be petty.
Of course you did. Of course it had to be petty. All right, I love it.
So what I'm debating is whether or not we want to.
Or you could get Alira on there
and help with stuff, or whether I want to get airborne or potentially work on getting airborne.
Well, getting airborne would be where you are.
Yeah, I don't like being on the ground.
Here's what your options are. There's a flare gun that you can use to signal the Beast Riders. That was set up back before, and there was one here because this is where they fly through. You could hoof it towards the village, and they could get you to the Skyhoppers because they've got like a couple of crappy land speeders or speeder bikes, or just they could just hide you. Getting back to your ships is tough because that's at the base, so you'd have to come into the base.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You could
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you could come in at the top, but you'd have to climb the cliff, which is with Bonterry, which is kind of a non-starter. Well,
it's like hauling C-3PO all over the place.
Well, you have your speeder bike, and you're pretty sure the ties are gone. So maybe. I mean, that's if the ties are gone, you can probably get around pretty quick. But yeah.
I'm kind of worried that the troopers are gone too. Our people.
Yeah, that is a concern. Or you can do your little clever roll and see if you can look out through the cameras and stuff like that.
Okay, so I will do some looking on my part. And if I don't have clarity in the next X minutes, then I will head to some place where I can be more of use.
Run. All right. Okay, so why don't you give me a clever roll as you poke it. I don't know if clever's your thing,
but you mean canny, cool, deep,
sorry.
rugged, or suave?
Sorry, I meant canny. Sorry. I don't even know what Powered by the Apocalypse game I was channeling there. I'm sure clever's one of them. Okay, seven.
You're channeling
in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what it is. It's the Star Wars version. It's the version of the Star Wars rules that I do with my kids because they know the word clever, but they don't know the word canny, so I changed it. Because I didn't want to explain canny to my 3-year-old. She thinks it's a very funny word. Okay. Concerned at how much Dave and Catherine are typing. I have to look. Takes a lot longer for these images to load for me. I don't know why. Very nice. Okay. So you're still in line with him, and you're kind of poking at the comms. And okay, it doesn't actually take you very long. The first camera that you managed to retask, you spot your guys. And then you spot 2 more of your guys. And then you spot 4 more of your guys.
And they're all dead?
No, they're all moving. They're all actually like creeping through the jungle. And then you realize, well, wait a second. It's more like, Hesman, how many did you send?
2 patrols.
Like two people, or two pairs, or what does that mean?
Yeah, 4.
You're counting at
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all curling in the underbrush.
8,
10,
10.
12.
Tactics. That's new, guys.
That's not our stormtroopers. It looks like the problem is these cameras are labeled like on coordinates.
Lear labeled them and some.
Well, no, backup labeled them.
Oh, so that's even better.
Yeah, I mean they absolutely
probably predates the revolution in terminology.
Don't blame everything on me.
He only blame half the things on her, possibly 60%. He could probably explain it to you, and you would never be able to forget the system as soon as he explained it to you. There's a good chance he actually did. You just weren't listening. It's a very clear naming terminology that would tell you exactly where they are. Wherever they are, they're somewhere.
If I was a robot.
Yeah. Wherever.
If I was a robot.
Wherever they are, they're somewhere between the comm station and the base, and they are creeping around like they are moving in on something. There is a commander with them. It is not. It is this you would know. It is an admiralty commander, so It's not like a ground. It's not a stormtrooper with the colored patch. There is one of those, but there's also like the dude with, this hat.
Okay,
You know?
so these are not palace people. These are
Admiralty people.
Navy people.
Okay, so I relay to Hazmat the camera numbers, and can I tell which relative direction they're moving from those cameras? And that they're Admiralty.
They're not coming your way.
Okay.
They're headed down the slope. Actually, you can kind of figure out from the lay. It looks like they're on the other side because there's like a ravine between here and the base, and they actually are coming up. They are just coming up out of the ravine and kind of coming toward the base.
Okay, so Hazmat coming up the ravine. They're heading towards you. I'm trying to think how I can be most useful to you.
Tell me when they're like 15 meters in front of the door.
Stay on target.
So
I can do that.
So they get about. We're not going to get. I'm sorry that we got started late tonight because we're not going to get very far. But I've come upon the thing that. Where we need to stop. Okay, so the guy in the gray. This is Akana while you're listening, and so you get a weird double echo on this, Hesme, because you're hearing it through Akana's like camera feed as well as from like outside the base. But the guy in the gray pulls out like this, like just this little like yeah, kind of, but it's like a comm unit sort of amplifier sort of thing. Attention, Whisper Base. The Admiralty is taking command of all Imperial facilities from the Grand Moff. You are no longer answering to the Grand Moff. You are answering to the Admiralty. Lay down your arms, and we will come in to assume command.
Oh, this will be fun.
Like, oh
I think that's when Hazmat's
I think that's where we stop.
That is.
I laid down my arm already. I'm fine.
So.
No, I think that's when Hazmat's like, hold on a second. Pulls off his own little amplifier from the front of the base, probably that projects out.
Yeah.
No.
And it's just like, understood. This is the base commander. We are ready to receive you.
Oh my God. This is going to be just, and then he turns to the other guys like, you're going to want to not be in this room. Just FYI.
Yeah. No one wants to be in this room. I don't want to be in this room, but I don't have a long enough cable.
Okay. All right. And that's where we're going to stop because we're going to start with explosions next time and also find out what happened to, yes.
Yeah.
Saw staggers to the side, catches himself on the wall, blinks at you, starts to say something, and his eyes roll back in his head and he falls down to the ground. So, yeah, that happened. So we have an unconscious Saw with Ghana, the Jiminy Cricket of our group, and Backup, who just had his arm chopped off by the guy not at his mercy. We've got Hazmat about to lay down the welcome mat for approaching stormtroopers. Akana nearby.
And by welcome mat, we mean high explosives.
High explosives.
With shrapnel.
We basically mean a claymore the size of the fucking gate in King Kong. Yeah.
We have Akana out at the tower with an unfortunately conscious senator.
Lux Montaro.
I have been nothing but absolutely polite through all of this, including being stunned by a grenade and punched and denied water and basic.
Keep that up. You're just asking for getting hit again.
It was really.
We can call Saw. I'm sure he'd be happy to give you something.
Do me a favor and don't kill him because he's so much fun to play. And Delir is like, why are all the alert lights going off inside of the base? Hazmat, what are you doing? Anyway. All right.
Nice.
So there we go. I didn't get to spend as much time on Hesman as I would have liked to have. Not everybody got a fair shot on this one. Hopefully everybody had something.
It's okay.
Cool.
I make my own fun.
Yeah, that's good. And we had a good bit for you at the end, if nothing else. And you get to be rubbing your hands together like this for a week.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Oh yes.
Well, no. I both get to choose violence over a viable non-violent option and harm the assets of the Empire.
Next session.
It's like the best ever. I've been waiting forever for those first two.
He's about ready to hit the button going, so much XP. Click.
Actually, I think this is also a public act of rebellion.
It's a secret base. I don't know.
I don't know about public. Public is when you blow up something in the city. You got that when you blew up the.
And you haven't blown it up yet.
No, he's talking about what he gets to look forward to for next session. All right. I need to go and do some stuff downstairs, so we're going to forego the public tallying up of XP. But if you guys have any questions about anything about whether or not this counts, I will ask this: does anybody have any bonds they feel like might have changed or altered?
I'll wait till I find out what happened back up before I alter my bond with the rebels.
Okay.
I'm probably good next time at least. Probably going to resolve something with my bond with backup.
Yeah. But. I just so you know, the GM did notice and appreciate that just as Saw was about to monologue about how and why backup was a traitor and go into great detail with one of the people who worships the ground that he walks on, backup shot him. I appreciate. This guy is a traitor. He. Totally on stun, but still. Anyway, all right. So, by just saying, your GM audience member appreciated the timing of that.
Very good.
All right. Good game, guys. Lots of fun. I'm looking forward to the next session.
I don't know that I marked this last time. Did I mark take a stupid risk last time?
You did. You marked take a stupid risk last time. So
okay. So I think I'm actually kind of where I am right now. I don't think I did anything particularly.
Yeah, that happens on some sessions. We didn't
do anything particularly risky. I just had a bad roll, so that's there.
Yeah, you got an XP chip for that. Did anybody pick up a new move? I know a couple people. I think they dinged last time. Did anybody pick up a new move, or is it all just like stat massaging?
I just did stats.
I think I've got enough XP this time to pick something, but not last time.
Well, if you hold those points for a little bit longer, you might be able to replace your arm with that secret compartment thing.
About it.
Yeah, I know.
See, and I
can fix that
and
for
I have
you.
a present for backup that's going to resolve a bond, but it's in town, and who knows if we're ever going to get back there.
Hey, I'm working on a private tech project for backup.
Is it an arm?
It's an arm with a fist that has a rocket that flies out and punches people.
You never know.
Don't do that. So we went.
I am Iron Fist.